Hi, y'all. It's Pam at Pink Dragonfly Wings, and today is January the 1st of 2022. Now, I talked last time about a new little project I want to do, and we made before the end of the year. I'm going to call this series Magic Monday. And I am going to do my very, very best to always make sure that I have an episode uploaded and ready to go on Monday morning every week of 2022. And every project that we make during Magic Monday videos is going to go in our journal. And this is the journal that we made last week. I think most of you have seen the inside and the signatures and everything. But I did put some lace and a tag in the back and in the front. It's just a little tag that came with my paper kit, so I made it fit. We put the lacy, whatever this stuff is. We never did really decide what this stuff was, but it's some kind of lacy, fabricy, netty something or another. Anyway, and we put on our corner protectors. So every week we're going to put our project in one of our pages of the book, and at the end of 2022 we will have a nice project memory journal from 2022 and Pink Dragonfly Wings. So I hope all of you made a beautiful journal. Doesn't have to be made like mine, doesn't have to look like mine, just a journal with at least enough pages to put 52 projects in it. And this is our first one, and it will upload day after tomorrow. Okay? And this is what we're going to make. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pocket little thing, little tag holder, and it has 6 little tags in it. And we are going to make one of these out of book pages. I did make one ahead of time because I need to make sure I know how to make it before I get on here. So these were the papers that I had left over from making this. And so let's get started. I did this one in shades of blue and green, and you can see that the shades, I used distressed oxide inks, and I just did them in shades of blue and green, and made our little tags to put in each of the little pockets. Now you can make them straight, but it drives me nuts when they're not straight, so I'm going to purposefully make them at an angle. That makes me happy. You do what makes you happy. And let's get started on project number 1. All right. So our little deal here, I made it as wide. I used some pages out of an old animal type book, and I made the page as wide as this text was. So it came out to be about 3¼ inches by 8 inches. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make another one, change the color up a little bit. One of them I will put in my book. This one I will put in my book. This one I will put in my online store if somebody is interested in purchasing that. And we're off to a wonderful start because I can't keep my ruler straight. Me and this ruler have a love-hate relationship. Just can't quite figure out whether I like it or not. I don't really quite know how to use it, but we're getting better. So we're going to make one piece that is going to be the full 8 inches in length. And we will turn this over and just tear off so that all we see are the words, and the words are not important. It doesn't really matter. We want to make it 8 inches because that will fit in our journal. And I never can find my pencils. There we go. So 8 inches is more or less about right there. So we're going to tear this off. And we'll save this little piece because you never know. You never know. You might need just a little teeny tiny piece. Now we're going to use this other stuff here, and we are going to make our pockets, and our pockets are 2 inches each, and we're going to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Okay, so we're going to make 6 2-inch pockets, and I hope you can see this and what I'm doing. So I'm just tearing these right here, trying to make them as straight as possible. There's one. There's 2. That one's not quite big enough, so we'll save that one. We'll tear off the edges of this. We want it to be the same. We want it to be the same width because the pockets are going to glue right down on top of our little tag pocket, I guess, for lack of a better word. Don't really know what to call it. But it is an awesome way to use up some book pages. And I am getting better. I'm not really very good at some of the junk journal thing, just because I don't know why. I just can't quite grasp the idea. And so I'm working on that and trying to do better. And I am getting better. So we have 3. Four. 5. And 6. Alrighty. So now we have, that one's a little crooked, but that's okay. Everything I make is a little crooked. I am going to trim this up a little bit up the top. I'm not too worried about the bottom because it's going to be covered up by the pocket before. And let's get our little thingy punch. Our little circle punch so we can make all of our little scoops. And I am going to do my best. Let's make sure these are all right side up, to do them all at once. And we will see how strong we are. Okay, ready, set, and let's see. They didn't all come out. So, handy dandy scissor time. And we'll just cut. I guess 6 layers was a little much, but we got it. Now then, I'm sorry I'm wearing my these are, my kids call these my scrapbooking clothes because I'm real bad about wiping ink or glue or something on me. I tried wearing a little apron. That didn't work very long. So when I'm crafting, I just wear my old t-shirts and things, and they make fun of me, and that's okay. Let's see what color we want to do this one in. Why don't we do it in, just do it in brown. Maybe we could do it with some, and do them all the same. Since we're doing a junk journal, let's just do it all brown. Use our vintage photo, and I'm going to get this little piece right here. And I keep all my notes and stuff on, and just go right here along the edge. We're not going to worry too much about the center because the center is going to be covered up when we put our pockets on there. But we do want it to look nice, and we have to come down a little bit on this one just because that first one is the back of the book page right here. See, it's the back of the book page. So we want to make sure it's covered with ink before we start gluing everything down. Now then, there we go. We're not going to worry about the back because we're going to glue it down to our page. So let's do our little pockets here. We could just do them like we did this. It is a lot faster. And we'll just do some light brown in the center. We don't want it to all be totally dark, but we do want the pockets to look nice. So we'll just ink these up as we go around. Now my goal on these Magic Monday videos is that they won't be terribly long, and I really hope that some of you will join in and we'll make some of the projects with us. I know lots of people make projects. A lot of times they're the same project that different people make, but it shows different ways of making them, different ways of figuring out how to design it, how to decorate, how to kind of basically develop your own style. Everybody's style is just a little bit different, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what this whole hobby passion is about, is being different, having your own thing, having 10 people make a pocket and they all look different. And I think that's awesome. I think that's so cool. So you could give a baggie of things to each of 10 different people, and I guarantee you they will come up with a different way to use those same 10 items. It's amazing how our brain works, and it's just awesome. All right, so we're about to finish this up here. Now on yours, if you want to add a little color like we did on the other one, I did on the prototype, that's fine. I am just going to do this one just for the junk journal. I'm going to do it brown. Now, because these stack on top of each other, we're going to start at the top. And you can see on this one, we came down just maybe a finger's width, just not very far at all. because you do want to be sure you have room for 6 pockets. And we're just going to eyeball it, and sometimes that gets me in trouble, but that's what we're going to do. So we're going to start here, about a finger's width down, and glue our first one. Okay. Now I am going all the way around because my tags are made to fit in each individual pocket. If you wanted to make longer tags and have them in getting smaller with each one, that would be fine. Just don't glue the bottom and they'll slide all the way into your pockets, and that works beautifully. I do that a lot. But on this one, I'm just going to make sometimes I have a hard time talking and doing at the same time. Okay. But anyway, whatever. Alrighty, let's keep on a trucking here. We'll go down this way. We'll go across this way. And we're just looking just to kind of see that they're pretty much even as we go down the list here, down the line. That's our fourth one. And if they're not exactly the same, if they're off a little bit, nobody cares. It's okay. Okay. All right, our last one, and it looks like it's gonna fit pretty good. We'll put this one right even with the bottom, and that will become the bottom of our tag. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little pockets. Okay. Now we can even this up just a little bit. Sometimes it gets a little bit cattywampus because you're tearing 2 different pieces of paper at 2 different times, and sometimes it's hard to get them to be exactly even, but that's okay. We can even it up, or you can leave it uneven. It doesn't really matter. It's up to you. All right, so there we go. We now have our little pocket made. Got a little nubbin. Now we have our, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little cards. And we can, on this one, I just used some little stamps, some little flower stamps that I had. You can use that or not. It's up to you. I'm going to put a little bit of a different edge on these. We rounded this one, but I think we'll do this one. It kind of is a little, makes it look kind of like a little ticket. So we'll do these, get those all cut. I think we can probably do 2 at a time. So we're going to do 2 at a time. I wonder if we can do the last 3 all at the same time, all together. Let's see. Woohoo! Looks like it. There we go. So we've got those done. Now we have 6 of our little cards. We've got to decide what we want to put on them. And I like the flowers. I think the flowers are really cool. But let's see if we have some mushrooms. Let's see if we have some different kinds of mushrooms. And I know I have lots of them because I just got through cutting them out. I bought these online. These little cards are not very big, so our little mushrooms are going to have to be kind of small too. So we've got that one will work. Let's see. That one will still work. It'll still fit. Afraid that one's a little tall. Yeah. That one will work. I love mushrooms. I don't like to eat mushrooms. They're gross, slimy, but I love looking at mushrooms. That one's going to be just a little bit too big. We could work on it a little bit. It might work. Some of these are just really too large. I bought these from Louisa Heinzel, and excuse me, she has a website and does lots of videos, and I bought these from her online, and they really are pretty. They're really beautiful. Guess I didn't very carefully put them all in the, oops, that one's too big, in the same area. So that one's going to be, we could put it cockeyed, kind of like that, and do that one. That would work. That'll work. All right, so there gives us 6 little mushrooms. And we'll put those back. Very quickly, we will ink these up around the edges. Probably would have been a whole lot better and a whole lot faster if I had done this ahead of time, but I didn't. I think I need to put a little re-inker in my ink pad. The Vintage Photo is my favorite ink. And sometimes the black, now the black soot's not so bad, but like StazOn or Memento, or some of those are so dark that it's a little overpowering sometimes to me. So I really, and it's really funny because I really don't like the color brown. Brown and orange they just are not my favorite colors. But when I'm doing stuff like this, I really like the Vintage Photo. Now, on the backs of these, if you wanted to put lined paper, you could certainly do that. If you wanted to draw lines on it, you could certainly do that. I am going to leave them blank. I always have a hard time with whether or not to put lined paper on things because I never know what the person who gets the journal has to say. Do they use lots of words and they need lots of pages? Do they just use a few words? Do they just use notes and jot down? And they get the journal and see this huge page of lines and they're like, oh, I don't know what to write. So they never get around to writing anything. So I always have, if you've just got a piece of blank paper there and you want to write 5 lines, then you can write 5 lines however you want to. And if you want to write a lot of lines, then you can write tiny and you can just make it your own. And so I kind of tend to, I love lined paper just because I make it. I don't make the paper, but I would love to learn to make paper. But I print it and sell it in my shop online, and I do it in colors, and it's pretty simple to do, and so I use it a lot. But that thought is always in the back of my mind about, what do I do? Do I really want to make those decisions for somebody else? We all create differently. We all journal differently. We like different things. Some people want to type it, cut it out, and glue it on. Other people are fascinated with handwriting and not wanting to, it's just all different, and it's really difficult. I never really realized how difficult it is to do something that you don't know the person that you're doing it for. So it's kind of weird. But of course, I left my little pen out of my glue again. I was just about to get that little sucker where I could get glue out of it. We're just going to glue the backs of these and put them on here. Those are perfect. Look at those. Are those not just darling? Now, this one is just barely going to fit, so we have to be real careful with this one to make sure that we get it right on the lines, because it does kind of hang off just a smidgen. But that's okay, because it's going to look really pretty. Alrighty, then we're going to do these up. These don't really take a lot of time at all. And I use my scraps when I have little leftovers, cardstock. Now these little mushrooms are printed on paper. I also printed them on cardstock, but because we have a cardstock tag, I didn't want to have 2 layers of cardstock, because in our junk journals, we do kind of want things to lie flat as we can. And we like a little foo-foo in it every now and then, but not a whole lot, because then your journal kind of ends up looking like, I don't know, some kind of monster from outer space that just ate a galaxy or something. So there we go. I think I'm even getting these pretty centered up, and that's amazing for me. That is not one of my strength areas either. Being straight, being even. Just, I missed that. I missed that day of school when they taught how to do that, I guess. So, all right, there's our little cards, and we can put them in our journal. Let's put this one in here in the middle, because he's kind of one of those little cockeyed ones, and we want to make sure that we can see the one on top. And just put them in here however you see fit to put them in. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to decorate something down here, and y'all know I love lace and stuff, so we're going to see if we can find just a little dibble of lace down here. That might work pretty good. It'll be okay. And then we need a word. And I have some words here that really deal with nature and that kind of thing. We don't want trees or flowers in it, though, because our book is about mushrooms. So how about this one here that says magical forest? Now, I bought these little words online as well. I bought these from Pam at the Paper Outpost. I'll try to remember to put her link down, and if you like these, she has several different little sets that you can use, and has lots of nature words, love words, those kinds of things on there. So, goodness gracious. All right, so we're going to put this right down here on the bottom, just a little bit of glue here. I know this glue doesn't really function very well in the winter. In fact, I don't think you can even buy it in the winter at most places. They just send it in the summer. The cold kind of makes it coagulate a little bit weird. But, and of course, I live in Colorado at the base of the Rocky Mountains, so I'm sure there are places that are colder, but there sure are lots of places that are warmer. So I'm going to put this little piece right here. And then we'll put our little magical forest down here at the bottom. Put it kind of at an angle like that. Okay. So there's our prototype. It says stay close to nature. Here is the one we just made, Magical Forest. I hope that you have enjoyed. We're going to put this in our book, and we'll just pick out a page, and I think it might look better if it were on a solid page. That's kind of pretty. Put it in there. Right. And I do like lots of edges and edging on my paper, so we're going to put that right there as best we can in the center. Try to keep away from the edge in here, because that really messes with your spine and stuff. And then what about, I had some lace down here once upon a time. I have no idea what I did with it. It always goes away somewhere, and then when I get ready to look for it, I can't find it. This is just a piece of cotton, like it's a bed sheet, I think, at one time, and I coffee dyed it, and I like to, kind of put little things like that on there. So we could do that. Maybe a smaller piece of lace. Ah, this is pretty. This is a pretty little, it's got a little decorative edge on it. That's cute. I like that one. So I think we'll use this on this side. We'll put just a little bit of glue right down here on the edge. As soon as I can get my glue, get it started. Glue this down. It's a pretty thin lace, so I want to make sure it has plenty of room to stick and not just put it, yeah, isn't that pretty? And we could put some little pearls or, something like that on the edge, but keep in mind that everything you put on there just makes it thicker. So I kind of think that might work just fine, just like that. So we have week number 1 done and in our book. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you've had fun. I hope you enjoy this challenge, if you want to call it that, that we're going to do this year. And I hope you'll take that adventure with me. So come every Monday. We'll do it, say, post to make sure they're posted at 10 o'clock. And so I'll have a YouTube channel video every Monday at 10 o'clock that is specifically for our Magic Monday book. And next week will be week 2. So we will see you then. Have a good New Year's Day and a wonderful 2022. Take a few minutes to check out my online store at www.pinkdragonflywings, all one word, wings with a Z.com. Check us out, see what you think. Next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.